I bring you gifts now.
Oh, we love gifts, don't we? Ping gifts. It's like Christmas.
I've been told to bring you these because he's off on holiday somewhere.
He's gone off to America, has he?
Yeah, he has, yeah.
So he's left us to do it.
Yeah, shall we?
Let's do it, shall we?
Ping G410s.
Yeah.
Torquay Golf Club, Dan Hendriksen, Coach Lockey.
Left to our own devices.
Do we say let's get stuck in?
No, we can't do that.
No, God. I want to get the first hit that you whack with one of these. And just see what comes out your mouth when you hit one, because I've hit 2 or 3 practice shots.
Have you?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to get the spec up as well.
30 loft on the 7-iron.
Been doing some reading and homeworking last night on these.
Okay.
They look hot.
Hot as in like good looking, or hot as in like distance?
I think they're going to look hot as in good looking, and I think they're going to be hot off the face.
Okay. I just want to get your first reaction.
That's hot, isn't it?
Okay, let's
hit some proper shots.
Let's hit some shots.
Right, balls hit. 5 shots each.
What do you think? Initial thoughts, Dan the man.
Initial thoughts, very, very powerful. We're going to see obviously how they perform out on the golf course, but love the look of them. Like that hydro pearl. Do you know much about the hydro pearl on these? The finish?
I don't. Tell me.
So the idea of that is to, obviously from a looks point of view, it's a nice sort of matte kind of finish.
It does look good.
It does look nice, doesn't it? But the idea is to try and get the water off the face. So it's to stop the flyers from this particular model. So the water that gets caught on your face, so if you're coming out of semi-rough, wet conditions, this hydro pearl finish will push the water away and then help to keep your spin numbers just a little bit more precise.
I didn't test many clubs, but that looks like a little less offset to me than normal Ping.
So we're talking with if you compare this to the G400 range,
yeah,
you're looking at 10% less offset, and it's actually 3% smaller in its profile in looks, in size, compared to the G400. So it's a really good looking head. I think Ping are kind of aware that people don't want to go offset as much when it comes to, you know, game improvement irons, and I think they've done a great job with this particular model. So sound in this particular one, again, it's everything I would expect to get from a kind of game improvement iron. You've got this little dampener in here that they've put in here, again, very, very similar to what they've done in the past, but the idea is to obviously try and quieten that sound down a little bit, because I think these could probably get quite tinny and pingy.
As soon as I hit that, I thought, wow, that makes a noise, but again, I haven't tested clubs for quite some time, and I've been forged blades, so it's quite
very different. Very, very different.
But that was quite noticeable for the first time I've hit those.
Did you feel that face? Did you feel that it was at all springy off the face? Is that slightly different? You're a blade player. Do you feel that's a bit springy off the face?
Like you'll see from the numbers in a minute that I've struck that. Oh, I've tested a lot of the face, and I can just feel my general patterns of when I hit the neck, it feels a bit harder and a bit funnier on my hands, and then when I hit the toe, it wants to twist. I don't feel like there's a difference in the face, but I mean, the numbers will say, I reckon it's going to be a low spinner, higher loft, higher launch and trajectory, but that's the club's design. I can't feel that face as such.
Yeah, okay.
Can you feel the difference?
Not really, not in comparison to, let's say, the G400. It's a very similar feel, but they're using the same kind of technology. They've got this core eye technology in the face here, which is helping to spread that sort of, you know, when you get off-centered strikes, it's trying to keep that ball speed as hot as it possibly can right across the face. A little bit of tungsten popped into the toe of the club again, trying to keep that stability when you get those off-centered strikes.
And that taking weight away from other parts of the face as well?
Yeah, so again, you've got, you know, they've cut away underneath here. You can see all that cut away underneath. Again, trying to distribute that weight as far around the head as they possibly can, locating it in different spots. Again, just to get more control, maybe a pop in the ball higher in the flight. You know, talking about these particular irons, what have we got here? 30 degrees aloft in this 7-iron. You know, that's nearly my 5-iron in the set. You know, and they make power lofts in these.
So you've got 2 different sets of them, have you?
You can get, so for this particular one, we've got 30 degrees aloft, but they make another one which is a power unit, which is 28.5 degrees aloft. And, you know, power. We'll talk about the numbers and see if we actually do need that extra bit of power. Okay, we'll start off with my numbers. Okay, so I went first, hit 5 shots. If we look at the ball data to start with, spin-wise, you can see there we're coming out at 5,692 RPMs on an average. Now, to give you a bit of an idea, my spin on my 7-iron is between 6,500 and 7,000 RPM. So this is down to where my kind of 6-iron stroke 5-iron would kind of blend in. Comparing that to you, you're spinning it at 6,239 average. So you're getting just that little bit more spin. But would you say you're a higher spinner?
I'm quite a high spin.
Okay. If we look at the strike patterns from our 2 as well, you were slightly lower in the face, I was possibly slightly higher in the face, so we're going to see a slight drop off in my spin being slightly higher up on the face. You're launching it at 16.3 compared to my 17.6, so you're just launching it a little bit lower than let's say I am. Peak heights, again, goes hand in hand with the launch. You're at 32 peak height. I'm just popping up a little bit higher at 34.
That's still higher than what my normal 7-iron would be if I struck it properly. I'm around the 30 mark, so even though I hit that lower on the face, it's still getting that extra peak height, which is good. Yeah,
absolutely. And these are what these clubs are designed for, really, aren't they? To try and push that ball up in the air. A lot of people, you know, for the people that are looking to buy a set of these, those are the guys looking to get that ball higher off, pushing it, get a club to push it up in the air for them. If we look at our distances, your average of 174 compared to mine at 175. Now, I don't know about you, but I do not hit a 7-iron in my own set 175. My 7-iron goes between 160 and 165. When I'm cold, it's probably down at around 150, 55.
But I said to you when I come in normally with my 7-iron, I'm about 150, 155 with my general 7-iron. And that is, what would you say, 170?
174. You're actually fluctuating. You've got a slight fluctuation. Yours has gone 164, your lowest, which I would say is about where your normal 7-iron would be. At the end of the day, does it surprise you with the numbers that we're seeing here?
No, not at all. We're like driving here, I thought, how long is this going to go? And when we take this out on the course in a minute, with it being winter and it wet out there, I'm going to be a little nervous of the flyable, but we'll see.
So, with that in mind then, should we go on the golf course?
Shall we take them out?
Should we take them out? So we've got a 5-iron, we've got a 7-iron and a wedge. And I think we should do a little challenge on the course.
Oh, me be damn challenge.
Oh, lovely.
We've made it outside, Dan.
We have made it outside. What are we doing?
Testing clubs. It's very cold.
It's very cold.
Let's go par 4 to start.
Okay.
380 I think this par 4 is. So we'll be using a mixture of the clubs. We've got 5, 7 and a wedge.
Okay.
Closest to the pin in 2.
Right. So we're going to start off hitting 5-iron up. See how far we get up. And then choose what club we want to hit from there,
Perfect.
Perfect, like that.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's quite high for you uphill as well, isn't it?
That went, didn't
That
it?
is up. Nice.
So I caught it slightly towards the toe. You can see my strike mark probably about here. But the feel, the sound, it was quite clicky.
It is clicky.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
A lot louder than I was expecting to get. They start to get a little bit tinny, these sort of clubs, but this is sounding pretty good.
Oh. Slightly heavy.
It's It's in the middle of the fairway though, isn't
quite
it?
well though for that strike.
Yeah, so where was the strike on that? Where did you get that? You're not sure, are you?
I don't know. It's quite cold out here.
Okay.
So I can't feel.
Let's go and see where they've ended up, shall we? What you got left? I've got 147 playing uphill. Wind's maybe just a fraction helping.
Yeah.
I think a good tee shot here. I'm liking that.
Mine is.
Well, I can't believe
you.
where you've got it, actually.
That wasn't the best strike, and that's done very well.
Do you think you caught it just a bit high in the face?
I reckon I have caught that high on the face because it was a bit duffy, so probably a bit of a
bit
low
high,
spinner.
maybe low spinner for you. Yeah.
But it done very well.
I think
and
it
that's
did very
what
well.
I think these clubs are going to be really good at for lots of amateurs.
Absolutely.
Helping with their strike. If it's not consistent,
I
it
agree.
will give them that bit of help that they need.
I agree.
Wedge.
So I've got wedge now. Got 147.
So that's basically your 9-iron in your set, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And 147 is probably a real push for me with a 9-iron.
Yeah.
I don't fancy hitting 7-iron from here, so I'm going to use the wedge and just try and power it on.
Give it some.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I've got to say, as far as wedges go, when it comes to a game improvement iron, there's very little offset. It's quite a squat sort of little head, and just it looks really, really nice. Nice small top line. Can't go wrong.
He's at it. It's at it. Is
Go.
it up? Is it up?
Go. No.
It's not up.
No, that is a long way. That's a long way for a wedge. I've got to say, the strike, the feel, it was lovely. It was a great flight. Popped it up in the air quite nicely for me. Yeah, very happy with that. Just if you can get it on the front of the green, I think you've.
So does it just need to be closer, or does it have to be on the green?
It just needs to be closer to the pin.
Alright, so I'm just going to beef a wedge as well.
Yeah. Again, looks down at the ball.
That, like you said, that's not a bad looking wedge. Like, I'm very fussy when it comes to wedges.
Yeah.
Like, specific set wedges can be too chunky, too offset, things like you said. And you're seeing lots of players go to the specialist wedges now, aren't you?
You are, yeah.
In the 46 degrees. But that's not too bad. That's passable just.
Just. Get past yours. That's all I need.
Bunker?
Did it go bunker?
Yeah, nice flight again, like you
It
say.
just popped it up lovely, didn't it?
Easy, and to get that height with ease, isn't it?
Strike felt good.
Yeah, that was a nice one. That's not 1-0, is it?
That is, you've got 1-0 there. You've got that inside me.
That's close to reaching front edge if I hadn't pushed that slightly.
No, I agree. I think you've pounded that all the way there, haven't you?
1-0.
Have you tried to deal off that slightly?
I gave that everything I could.
Bit
yes.
more. But mine was online.
Yeah, yours was a good shot. Are you going to chip one on?
I'm just going to have a little go with the chip and run.
Oh.
I always think it's important when you get out and test to, because I chip and run a lot with sort of 7-irons and 8-irons and things like that, is when you're testing a new set, always have a little go with the clubs that you generally use to see how they perform, just those little delicate shots around the greens.
Oh, that's a lovely played shot, Dan.
Again, it didn't feel, sometimes they can feel quite springy, and that didn't feel as springy as what I was expecting, so it just came off the face pretty similar to my own set, really, I would say. So it felt good. Let's have a go with the 7, but can we do it this time? We'll have a little competition. Nearest the pin,
Because you're losing,
because I'm losing, and I've got to get one back. Nearest the pin, but we're going to hit one from the fairway, because obviously we've seen our numbers. They're a little bit lower spinning than I would necessarily like. We'll hit one from the fairway, then I want to put it in the rough, or the semi-rough, in like a bit of a fly lie, and just see how it performs from there.
That's what I want to test, that rough ball.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried about that one.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that one. The fairway ball, you've got about 165 yards, but it is playing uphill.
Oh, pushed it.
A bit right.
Yeah. Oh, that might have caught the edge of the tree.
Just dropped down by your bunker again, I think, isn't it?
It did. I'm suckered into that right side, aren't I?
Just the height is fantastic, isn't it?
It just pops up there, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, that's flown all the way there.
Easy.
I can't believe how high that's flown. for such strong lofts, you know, for it to go bang straight up in the air like that.
Because we're uphill here as well, aren't we? And
yeah,
that's
we are.
looking high still.
Yeah, that was good.
Impressive.
Felt good.
Rough ball.
Rough ball. We're going to put it with a little bit of
Bit of grass around it.
just a little bit of grass around it. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
No, you won that. You've hit
Okay.
oh, it's actually rolled off the front, but that did pitch on the green.
Oh, was
that.
it spun back?
Yeah. It is quite a slope up there.
Yeah. That's...
Right,
Right.
flyer ball.
Yeah. So this is what our concern is,
Yeah.
and this is what you should be concerned with down the lens, because when you're testing, you got to make sure you get your numbers right.
Oh, that's a miss hit. That is right for you, Dan.
Yeah.
That opens the door for an
That
army
door
win.
is wide open.
So that's a well struck shot, then pretty much at it, isn't it?
Oh, I reckon that's pin eye.
You think so?
Just maybe semi-rough.
Okay, how did that feel?
Again, that's just come on. I'm not really getting a different feel from fairway and rough strikes or anything.
Okay, so do you think maybe a little bit of that hydro pearl in there is helping?
I've no idea, but the strikes aren't fit. I'm not getting a sensation of where I'm hitting it and things like that, whether it's 'cause it's bloody freezing out but or if it's the face, I'm not too sure. But that's a good strike. Again, it's got the height and it's got distance from a flyer ball. It hasn't gone crazy, which is what we're scared of. Whether after a bit more testing you would see that odd one that flies a bit, because I have gamed some game improvers, CF16s at Callaway, and I did get the odd one that went too far. So it would be interesting if we did have a bit more time to practice a bit more out of this to see if you did get those longer ones. Right, little sum up.
Right.
Dan has spun one off the green.
I've spun one back, so I'm quite impressed with that, to be fair.
That is a hell of a slope. Just before we carry on, I have one.
That is an army win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
It's not very often I lose in these reviews,
Does that mean I'm not invited again?
so you've done well. I'm normally on top after these reviews in our competitions.
Sum it up for me, Dan.
I actually really like them. Do you know the interesting thing? I was looking back through some old footage and I saw the G410 review that we did last year.
Yeah.
And my spin numbers, I could almost game those clubs. You know, my spin numbers from those irons were really quite high.
Yeah.
Spinning at around 6,500 revs with a 7-iron. With these ones you saw earlier, the spin numbers have dropped off a lot, which would concern me when I'm being fit for a set of irons. And when I'm fitting people, you know, I would really be sort of concerned about that, and something I think you should as well. But the performance, the feel, the looks, it doesn't get much better. I think Ping have done an amazing job with these. You know, they're game improvement irons at the end of the day. They're there to help you as best they can, and I think Ping have really produced you some good ones here. What do you think?
The only thing I would say about your comments is that last year you weren't trying to hit it very high.
No.
So I reckon
So
your spin loft
swings
is
changed a little bit.
changing a little bit, which is
Absolutely.
where the spin's changing.
Yeah.
But very good clubs. I like the finish of them, the colour, the gradual offset throughout from wedge all the way up to the longer ones, and the height of it. Like, I just love it, getting up there without even trying.
Yeah.
Like, you having not to try to hit it high
Yeah.
must be quite a nice feeling, and it probably will be for lots of other golfers out there. So let us know your comments. Have you tried them, tested them, bought them? Let us know, and speak to you all soon.